Economic experts have warned that Nigeria's economic survival and growth will depend on how quickly it embraces digital transformation, as the country's e-commerce market is projected to exceed $16 billion by 2030. This was the central message from the Lagos Business School at the 35th Annual Finance Correspondents Association of Nigeria conference, where regulators, banks, and financial experts converged to chart Nigeria's digital future under the theme Bracing for the Digital Economy in Nigeria: Taxation, Banking, and Finance. In her keynote address, the Dean of the Lagos Business School, Professor Olayinka David West, represented by Professor Akintola Owolabi, stressed that Nigeria stands on the brink of a digital revolution capable of reshaping commerce, services, and livelihoods. Managing Director NDIC Thompson Sunday, who was represented by Director Claims Resolution Department Sule Olawale, said that seamless digital payment systems could expand tax compliance, boost inclusion, and strengthen evidence-based policymaking. On his part, FICAN Chairman Chima Titus reinforced the urgency of a deliberate strategy, noting that the ICT sector contributed 18.3% to Nigeria's GDP in the second quarter of 2025, while digital payments surged past 600 trillion naira in the first half of the year.
The digital economy in Nigeria, a rapidly expanding frontier. Nigeria's digital economy is experiencing unprecedented expansion, powered by an energetic and youthful population, coupled with accelerating digital adoption. According to the Nigerian Communication Commission 2024 reports, internet penetration reached 43.5%, with over 163 million Nigerians accessing the internet in March 2024. The telecom sector contributes approximately 18 to 20% to Nigeria's GDP, underscoring ICT's pivotal role as a growth engine. The digital revolution transcends statistics. It shapes commerce, services, and livelihoods. Our burgeoning e-commerce market, projected to exceed $16 billion by 2030, is fueled by trailblazing platforms like Jumia and Konga. Innovative logistics startups such as KWIK and GIGL illustrate how digital technology spawn entirely new value chains, enhancing efficiency and expanding economic opportunities. Such developments promise exponential employment gains, diversification away from oil dependence, and transforming service delivery across sectors.
This year, our theme is both timely and urgent: bracing for the digital economy, taxation, banking, and finance. Across the globe, the digital economy has moved from being a frontier of promise to becoming the backbone of modern growth. Here in Nigeria and across Africa, we stand at the threshold of a new era, one shaped by data, digital payments, artificial intelligence, and cross-border innovation. But the big question remains: will Nigeria be just a consumer of technology or a true participant in the global value chain? Take the simple example of a smartphone. If we cannot yet manufacture the device itself, can we not at least produce its packaging? Drawing from our abundant wood resources, that is, if we cannot produce a phone, can't we draw from the resources of the log of woods that we have here to produce the packaging? That is the mindset, that is the shift required for meaningful participation in the digital economy. The numbers speak clearly. The ICT sector contributed 18.3% to Nigeria's GDP in the second quarter of 2025. Digital payment transactions exceeded 600 trillion in the first half of 2025. a 22% growth year on year. Mobile money users surpassed 73 million, reaching rural communities that were once excluded. To consolidate these gains, the Central Bank of Nigeria unveiled the Payment System Vision 2028, a bold roadmap that incorporates AI, blockchain settlements, and the African Continental Free Trade Area, driven cross-border payments. This is not just a policy, it is a blueprint for our digital future. No digital economy can thrive without a fair and effective tax system. Moving on to the tax.
And then there was this problem of trust in terms of transactions. So instant payments pioneered by NIBS provided that comfort of getting your money at least near cash for every transaction. Now we have a fiscal authority driven by Mr. President and his think tanks trying to make sure that we have an efficient tax system. So to your question, the nexus is this. This policy has come at a good time for us as a country because we already have a foundation, a culture of digital transactions. Like most research papers have alluded to, we are largely a youthful economy, digitally savvy, and people, this culture is not going to go away anytime soon. It's, in fact, I think as a country, for Nigerians knowing what we are, we're always thinking of how best to take it forward. So the nexus essentially is you have a framework that has endured for close to 15 years already in place. Now you have a taxation system, or let's say a reformed tax administration system that can ride on it. For us as NIBS, we already partnered with the federal government on a number of initiatives, and we hold the public trust for a number of things like BVN and a couple of other things. BVN is the authentication services, and now we've had the privilege of partnering with NIMSI on the identity payment card, the national identity, Afrigo identity card. But the thing here is this: the system, this reform will benefit from a system that is considered mature across Africa. And don't just take my word for it. Any independent research will confirm that Nigeria's instant payment system has matured. In addition to being mature, one of the things that the regulators did over the last decade intentionally was to drive inclusion. So you now have a digital system, you have some significant level of financial inclusion, and then you now have a tax administration system that is not punitive but designed to bring efficiency. NIBS has already partnered with federal government on revenue assurance projects already, and there are some ongoing initiatives. And I suspect to see states take a cue from the federal government and replicate this kind of discipline and efficiency at subnational level.
We had identified the issue that were up because of the disruptions in the system due to innovative technologies. And we had extended deposit insurance coverage to Payment Service Bank as far back as 2020. And we gradually also brought them on board. We created a PSBDIF, that's Payment Service Bank Deposit Insurance Fund, which also covered them. We also done what? We moved up the maximum deposit insurance coverage from 200,000 to 2 million for MFBs, which happens to be the sector that's bringing the most disadvantaged, financially poor, into the banking scheme. So with that, we've covered even that scheme in such a way that people who have funds in MFBs do not need to be afraid. For up to 2 million, you can have your funds, if the bank fails, recovered, unlike what it was hitherto. So apart from that, we're also launching financial inclusion strategies, financial inclusion as well as consumer protection, ensuring that you do not only bring your monies into the banks or onto the platform without even having it protected. So NDIC as well as other members of Bankers Committee are also ensuring that when the digital banking comes on full board, there's a lot of safeguards of protecting them. So we are having a committee setting up, looking at how they can protect the digital space so that it is safe and sound, as against the current fear people are having that may be the problem when they go from traditional into the digital space.